Welcome to Fabricating History. Today we're going to make an 1830s bonnet using the book From the Neck Up Hat Making. There's a great pattern in here. It just takes 4 pieces, and I used wrapping paper with inch grit on the back side to scale up a pattern. The first step is to make 2 layers of buckram of each of the pattern pieces. I found this buckram at Joann's. I also added in the seam allowance, which is not part of the original pattern, but it certainly makes the whole process a lot easier for you when you put the pieces together. Here we have the crown and the brim. The fabric I'll be using is a flannel lining and a green and ivory fashion fabric for the inside and outside. The next step is to add in your wire. I recommend using millinery wire, though to be honest, in this project I used jewelry wire. As you're stitching this on, the wire can be a little slippery, so I use my quilting clips to hold everything in place as I'm stitching it. I hand stitch my millinery wire in, though if you run it through the machine, it also works great. Not only did I edge all of the materials, but I also added some vertical pieces for some support. Stitching the crown together, I clip my seam allowances so my pieces fit in nice and tight and are easy to sew together. The next step is to cut out your lining, and here is my flannel. It's important that your flannel lays nice and flat to the buckram because its purpose is to hide any rough edges, and you don't want to create more wrinkles with your lining. To help make your flannel lay nice and flat against the buckram, cut any round edges and stitch nice and tight, readjusting as you go along. Here we go, hand sewing on the flannel to the crown. And again, as I work, I make sure it's pulled nice and tight. And finally, the last piece we add on is the brim, and this is the trickiest because it is so large with the 1830s style. I use my quilting clips again to hold it in place, and I use several rows of stitching, taking full advantage of that overlapping seam allowance between the crown and the brim to have a surface to stitch through. Once that's done, it'll be time to add on your fashion fabric layers, but that will be in our part 2, so I hope you join us again next time. Thank you so much for stopping by today. Have a wonderful day.